Hello, everyone. Thanks for logging on to CBSColorado.com. We are here with the one and only Dave Logan, voice of the Broncos, coach at Cherry Creek High School. Sorry, I don't know why I almost forgot where you coach.
That's okay.
My alma mater, but I almost forgot.
I was going to say you went to school there, but don't worry about that.
But let's start with high school, and I'm starting with it because Dave said I don't want to talk about my accomplishments, so I'm going to talk about it. You just won your 11th state championship. That did the most in Colorado history. You're the only coach in the nation who has won state championships with 4 different schools. I mean, just an incredible track record and what you have done for so many kids. And Dave, I'm curious, what do you learn from these kids every year that keeps you coming back?
Oh, listen, I probably enjoy that as much as anything I do. I mean, I love doing the Bronco games for sure, but when you have a chance to work with 15, 16, 17, sometimes 18-year-old student athletes, and you see them grow, you see them come in as 9th graders, and then you just watch the maturation process and how they work at it, and then hopefully you're able to impart a few life lessons, things that these young guys can take with them when football comes to an end. And I mean, obviously that happens, but you want them to learn how to treat people and be respectful and hopefully become good citizens and eventually good husbands and good dads. And then listen, I'm not saying you don't want to teach them some football and try to put them in positions to win, because these kids work too hard for you not to give back and try to put them in positions to win. Winning is important, but they're also at that level, there are other things that you hopefully can teach your kids.
Well, Dave, I mean, I think everyone's so grateful for what you do for all of those high school kids. You've done so much. Coaches have such an important job, and I'm so glad we have you here tonight because there's a lot of coaches we want to talk about. Before we get to Sean Payton, we got to go up to Boulder. We got to talk about Deion Sanders, Coach Prime. I mean, this is like a whole new world. He's changed the game of recruiting, everything. As a high school coach, and you kind of see this, what is your perception of what's happening in Boulder? What do you think Prime's biggest challenges are going to be? Do you think this can be successful?
Yes, I'm excited about it. And I'm excited about it because of where the program was before he got there.
Yeah.
The program, and again, no disrespect to his predecessors, but was, if not at an all-time low, it certainly was one of the all-time lows. So we had one game a year. And so I think by the hiring of Coach Prime, the Buffs have become relevant again. I'm optimistic in terms of what they can accomplish in a short period of time. There's going to be plenty of work to do, without question. You've seen him bring in some talented athletes. You've seen the transfer portal used to the University of Colorado's benefit. Now, you asked me what will be his biggest challenge. It's one thing to be able to get talented players in. I mean, I've seen coaches that have had talented rosters. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win games. And I'm not saying that won't happen for Coach Prime. I know a couple of his assistant coaches, really good football people. But I think one of his challenges will be when you bring this many, and it's not just University of Colorado. When you bring this many talented athletes together and you bring them in, they've been very good, they've been productive and talented at other universities. Then, how do you handle them if they don't individually get off to the kind of start that they want?
Sure.
Right? They left other schools ostensibly to come here to get more opportunity. Well, in football, the games go like this sometimes, and a receiver might get a couple of catches one game, might get 8 the next game, might get 3 the next game. How do you handle that individual thing, and how do you transfer the idea of, hey, what's important is what we accomplish as a program, and if we do that, then there'll be plenty of accolades to go around individually. I mean, to me, as I look at that, I would think that would be one of the challenges.
Yeah, I think that's incredible analysis. It's really fascinating. I am curious, Dave, as a high school coach, how have you seen your players kind of change perhaps where they're looking with NIL, and it has become such a prominent thing? It feels like it's really changed the game. How does it affect kind of your high school players?
Well, I mean, I think that, players nowadays, and I had a couple of players this past year that were seniors and graduating, they realized the opportunities. And when they would sit down and tell me in terms of some of the opportunities economically, it just sort of stuns you.
Yeah.
You just sort of lean back and you're like, you don't want to act incredulous, like, really? And so you want to act like you sort of know, but I mean, it stunned me how much financial opportunity is there for some of these high school athletes. I think it's good in a sense because it gives kids opportunities to realize financially, how much money can be made, and hopefully they've got a support staff that will teach them how to take care of that money. I think it also, though, can be negative in terms of some schools being able to utilize certain financial things to entice guys. Kids have to go and prove they can play, and if they can play, the NIL was set up to reward those players. If the View House wanted to, have a player endorse them, then they would do that after the player proved that he could play. And I'm all in favor of that, but I'm not necessarily in favor of you setting up sort of a, my term, slush fund to sort of entice players out of high school to come to the universities, and I know that's going on today.
Yeah, it's really fascinating, and it's still very much so kind of the Wild West out there with NILs. Let's jump up to the pros, of course. Sean Payton, now the leader here in Broncos country. There's a lot that, in Sean Payton's presser that was impressive, that was good to take, but what do you think is the biggest reason why he's the right choice for the Broncos? Obviously, Greg Penner said he wanted a steadfast leader, no-nonsense attitude, et cetera, et cetera. But in your opinion, why is he the right choice to take over the Broncos?
Listen, I think he's the perfect choice for a couple of reasons. One, he's been a head coach and a really successful head coach in this league for a decade and a half. Two, he's an offensive-minded head coach. He's been a guy that has constructed an offense, and an offense that obviously has been very, very productive. The naysayers will say, yeah, well, he did that with Drew Brees. True. Drew Brees was a really good quarterback at San Diego, not a Hall of Fame quarterback. And so I think it was a perfect marriage between Drew Brees and Sean Payton. But if you look at even what Sean Payton was able to do after Brees retired, his offense is still ranked high in the NFL. He's an offensive-minded coach and a guy that gets it. And then the last thing would be he's a guy that understands the process. You can't just roll into town and say, hey, I've got good players here. We're just sort of going to go out and we'll figure this thing out. No, Sean has, I think, a process that he has worked under and believes totally in. And I think he'll get these players to buy into that. And honestly, he strikes me as the kind of coach that if there are players that don't buy into his philosophy, they're not going to be here long, which that's the way the NFL works, generally speaking.
I think that might be a little bit overdue here with the Broncos. I think it'll be a great thing. David, it's been such a treat to have you. Thank you for all of your brilliant insight. Thank you so much.
Yep. Good to see you.
Guys, thanks for logging on to CBSColorado.com. We'll see you next time.